Okay, so the Dodge has been primed and I took care of some sags and whatnot here and there. I believe there is a dent on this fender, which is not showing up with this light on. Let me turn this light up for a second. This is showing a crown, and this is some sort of valley through here. I don't really know what has happened. I didn't body work this fender. I think I worked the lower section here, possibly. I did have to do some tweaking to get the bottom of this fender out because it was rolled in. So this may be just a portion of where the metal has relaxed or is under tension or something along that line. But I can see that there is some sort of low spot or high spot right here. Probably not going to be able to hammer this down just because of where it's at. And I think the low spot's between these 2 points. I'm going to use my large big kit block here to identify this low spot. I don't think I need guide coat because this primer will lighten up as it's sanded. So big kit block, this is the 24-inch. And this is some 80 grit, but this is some really worn out 80 grit. So it's probably more like 120-ish right now. I typically don't block after my primer with 80 grit anywhere. I do all my shaping with 80. I really should shape with 80 and then hit with 120 before I prime it because I had a lot of heavy sanding scratches on some of the panels, but that's here nor there. So we're just going to take this block and do a crosshatch pattern across this panel. Always wear PPE. Don't be like me, breathing in this dust. Get yourself all sick. Go grab a dust brush or a rag. That'll work. Now, this is a high spot, low spot, low spot, low spot. Probably another low spot in there. Let's block a little bit more and see what we can find. Okay, so low, low, low. This is kind of low, but we'll work that. I think this is okay. As this fender rolls down, I think there's a little low spot here, but my main focus is right in this area, and it's got a dent. So it was showing up when I went and primed it. I just wasn't sure how denty it was. But there's a little dent in there. So we will take some body filler and just put a skim coat. This dent's not very deep. It's maybe the thickness of a quarter, if that much. So less than 1/8 of an inch. And that's at the center here and on the outer edges, of course. So yeah, that gives me an idea. I think I'll go ahead and put some filler on this and get it where it needs to be at before I put 2 more coats of primer on. So generally speaking, do all my body work, I come back and I will address the body with the block to see how straight my body work was. In this case, it's really not too bad. You can see a little, these areas were obviously higher, they're to the body filler, not much primer there, which that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and block the car and then I will prime the whole car again. More than likely, I'm gonna go ahead and prime and paint all my alcoves. And I got some stuff like this is gonna require some body filler. I'm gonna go ahead and paint my alcoves, the door jambs, the insides of the doors, the inside of the trunk. I'll go ahead and paint that stuff because I've got to tape all this off when I put the car back together to paint the car. And when I say tape it off, I got to seal the door off. It's not like a standard vehicle where you can close the doors and you have an airtight seal. Because these doors are in a convertible and the inside of the car is exposed because there's no roof, then I have to seal the doors. Otherwise, dust trapped inside the door will get out into the base coat and the clear coat when I go to paint the car. And I don't want that, so I got to paint everything and seal everything up. And then after everything is sealed up and painted up, then I can paint the exterior of the car. So it's painting this convertible is probably the equivalency of painting 2 vans. Because there's that much prep work involved. There's a lot of prep, especially these older cars where there's parts you can't reach with the parts assembled and you got to blow it apart. You can't even dust it into some of these areas. There's just no way to even get it in there. So because of that, we got to take it apart and do it the other way. See my helper back there in the back? We're teaching how to block sand. So you know what that means. She'll be a professional in no time at all. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yep, she'll be a professional in no time at all. So we're going to continue with the block and hit some areas around the vehicle. My main focus is on the door jambs, like I said, because we're going to go ahead and get those painted, but I'll go ahead and put some filler in there, and we'll just get that roughly blocked in, so when it comes time for primer, again, I can prime over those areas, and they'll be that much closer to paint. I think what I'm going to do, instead of you guys watching me sand each one of these parts again, especially on the alcoves and the insides of everything, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the camera back on when it is time to paint the interior jambs and all the trim out, and then we'll go over block sanding the whole body once it's reassembled. Sound good?
Yep.
All right.